The White House is one of the most recognizable buildings in the world, a symbol of power, leadership, and American democracy. Its white columns and carefully maintained lawns project an image of stability and control. Yet behind its polished facade lies a long history not just of politics and decision-making, but of mystery, whispers, and encounters that many believe defy explanation. For over 2 centuries, presidents, first ladies, staff members, and guests have reported strange occurrences within its walls. Among these accounts, one figure appears more frequently than any other: the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. The idea that the White House could be haunted may sound like folklore or imagination, but the consistency of reports across decades gives the story a peculiar weight. These are not tales passed down by anonymous storytellers alone. They come from respected figures, including heads of state, military personnel, and international visitors. Whether one believes in ghosts or not, the sheer number of similar experiences invites curiosity. The White House was completed in 1800, and since then it has witnessed some of the most dramatic moments in American history: wars, assassinations, economic crises, and sweeping social changes. It is perhaps no surprise that such an emotionally charged place might carry echoes of the past. Buildings that have endured centuries often accumulate stories, but the White House is unique because of the prominence of those who have lived and worked there, and the intensity of the events they experienced. Of all the spirits said to inhabit the residence, Abraham Lincoln is the most famous. Lincoln served as president during one of the darkest periods in American history, the Civil War. His leadership preserved the Union, but at tremendous cost: hundreds of thousands of lives lost and a nation deeply divided. In 1865, shortly after the war's end, Lincoln was assassinated, shocking the country and leaving a profound sense of unfinished business in the national consciousness. It is this sense of unfinished duty that many believe explains why Lincoln's spirit is said to linger in the White House. According to numerous accounts, his presence is not hostile or frightening in the traditional sense. Instead, it is often described as solemn, watchful, even burdened, as though he remains tied to the responsibility he once carried. One of the most frequently cited sightings involves a tall, shadowy figure standing near a window, gazing outward. Witnesses describe the silhouette as unmistakably Lincoln: tall, thin, with a distinctive posture. Sometimes the figure appears briefly before vanishing. Other times it seems to linger long enough to leave a lasting impression on those who see it. Perhaps one of the most famous witnesses was First Lady Grace Coolidge, who lived in the White House during the presidency of Calvin Coolidge in the 1920s. She reportedly saw Lincoln standing at a window in what is now known as the Lincoln bedroom, looking out across the Potomac River. According to her account, there was no sense of fear, only a quiet awareness that she was witnessing something extraordinary. Other reports are more unsettling. Some visitors have claimed to hear footsteps echoing through empty corridors late at night, long after the building has fallen silent. Staff members working overnight shifts have described doors opening and closing on their own, or hearing faint knocking sounds with no clear source. In some cases, individuals have reported the sensation of being watched, even when they were alone. One particularly intriguing story involves Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands, who stayed at the White House during a visit in the 1940s. According to the account, she was awakened in the middle of the night by a knock on her bedroom door. When she opened it, she reportedly saw Abraham Lincoln standing there. Startled, she fainted. While skeptics question the accuracy of this story, it remains one of the most widely repeated tales associated with the White House ghost. Even prominent political figures have acknowledged strange experiences. Winston Churchill, the British Prime Minister during World War II, is said to have encountered Lincoln's ghost during his stay. According to legend, Churchill had just stepped out of a bath and was smoking a cigar when he noticed Lincoln standing by the fireplace. Churchill, known for his wit, reportedly said, "Good evening, Mr. President. You seem to have me at a disadvantage." After that, the apparition disappeared. Whether or not these stories are entirely accurate, They reflect a recurring theme. Lincoln's presence is often associated with moments of crisis or reflection. Some believe his spirit appears during times of national stress, as though he is still watching over the country he fought to preserve. The Lincoln bedroom itself has become the focal point of many of these reports. Originally used as a cabinet room during Lincoln's presidency, it was later converted into a bedroom. Today, it is considered one of the most haunted spaces in the building. Guests who have stayed there sometimes report vivid dreams, strange noises, or a lingering sense that they are not alone. But Lincoln is not the only spirit said to inhabit the White House. Over the years, reports have surfaced of other ghostly figures, including former First Lady Abigail Adams, who is said to haunt the East Room. During her time in the White House, Adams used the large space to hang laundry, and witnesses have claimed to see a figure resembling her moving through the room, arms outstretched as if carrying linens. Another frequently mentioned presence is Andrew Jackson, the seventh president, whose spirit is reportedly heard laughing or swearing in what was once his bedroom. These accounts add to the sense that the White House is not just a single ghost story, but a collection of lingering echoes from different eras. Skeptics, of course, offer alternative explanations. Old buildings often produce unusual sounds: creaking floors, shifting pipes, drafts moving through hidden spaces. The White House, with its age and constant modifications, is especially prone to such phenomena. Psychological factors may also play a role. When individuals know they are in a place associated with history and legend, their perceptions may be influenced by expectation and suggestion. Yet even with these explanations, some aspects of the stories remain difficult to dismiss entirely. The consistency of descriptions, particularly of Lincoln's appearance, raises questions. Why do so many people, from different backgrounds and time periods, report seeing a similar figure in similar locations? Another factor to consider is the emotional weight carried by the White House. It is not just a residence. It is a place where decisions are made that affect millions of lives. The stress, responsibility, and historical significance embedded in its walls create an atmosphere unlike any other building. Some researchers suggest that intense human experiences can leave an imprint on a location, a kind of residual energy that manifests in subtle ways. For those who have experienced something unusual, the explanation matters less than the feeling itself. Many describe their encounters not as terrifying, but as deeply moving. Seeing Lincoln, even as an apparition, can feel like a connection to history, a reminder of the struggles and sacrifices that shaped the nation. In this sense, the legend of the White House ghost serves a larger purpose. It keeps history alive in a way that facts and dates alone cannot. It transforms the past into something immediate and tangible, something that can still be felt in the present. Today, the White House continues to function as the center of American political life. Presidents come and go, each leaving their mark on the building and the country. But alongside the official business and public appearances, the stories persist quietly, passed from one generation to the next. Late at night, when the lights are dim and the halls are empty, it is easy to imagine a tall figure standing by a window, looking out into the darkness. Whether this figure is truly the spirit of Abraham Lincoln or simply a product of imagination and memory is something no one can say with certainty, but perhaps that uncertainty is part of what makes the story so enduring. The White House is more than a building. It is a living symbol of history, filled with echoes of those who came before. And among those echoes, the presence of Abraham Lincoln, real or imagined, remains one of the most compelling mysteries of all.